What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're watching, you're listening to Sideline Talk. I'm the humble beast himself, Coach Hurd.
What's going on, everybody? Coach Tay here.
Man, happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Monday. You have the ability to inhale and exhale. So it's a good day.
It's a great day.
Great day, man. It's a great day to have a great day, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Much success, much salute to Golden State, who's are now a 4-time champions. They are having their parade right now, as Draymond would say. It's Golden State versus everybody. Shout out to them for getting the job done this past weekend and just doing what Golden State do. Win. They right back in the winner's circle. And as many believe, it's going to be hard for another team to knock them out. But let's get into it, because it seems as though when a great player achieves an accomplishment like MVPs, NBA titles, and then Finals MVP, multiple All-Stars, I think he had an Olympic gold medalist. It's only right that they're considered amongst the greatest players ever. Now, this player has surpassed that to now the debates from as soon as the game ended, probably till for the rest of his career, will be Steph Curry a top 10 player all time? Is he an all-time top 10 player?
Al blanked out. Oh, there you go.
Not bad. Good stuff.
Let me just say this. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
I love Steph Curry. Love everything he's done for the game of basketball. I think he's a very talented player. One of my favorite players to watch. Has never worn a Lakers jersey. I say all that to say I do not believe he's top 10. But I believe he has cemented himself into that argument.
All right. So here's my question. We say top 10, right? So we thinking who?
The greatest of the greats.
Jordan, LeBron, right?
Kareem.
Mm-hmm. Kareem, Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Accurate so far?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4. Okay, then you say who after that? Larry.
Kobe,
Larry. That's 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm listening. Like, where we going with this now? Like,
so Kobe, Larry.
I'm
going to put Dream in there. He's the best defensive player I've seen.
You're putting Hakeem Olajuwon in there, okay?
I will put Hakeem in there.
That's 7.
I will put. Cause I actually did a list.
You want to put Tim Duncan?
I will put Tim Duncan on there. So I'm sorry. Let me say my list, and not necessarily in the order. Well, actually, this is order for me. Kareem, Mike, Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Larry, Wilt, Dream, Duncan, and Shaq.
Okay. All right. I get it. Tim Duncan has what? 5 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tim Duncan never had a losing season either.
Right. And he's arguably, he's the best power forward ever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 centers in there.
Yes, 4.
It's a lot of big men. A lot of power forwards and centers.
Yeah, a lot. And in my opinion, on your list, somebody got to go. One of those
Now,
got to go, bro.
for me, at the bottom of that list is Shaq because as dominant as he was, as nimble as he was to be 7 foot and 325, he didn't maximize his potential to me. I felt like people like Kobe, like Mike, like Duncan gave every single thing that they had every
Wait,
single time they was on the court.
wait
I
a
felt
minute.
like AI gave every single thing he had every time he was on the court. Shaq, especially after Miami, I don't know what the hell
Let
that
me
was.
ask you this then.
But
Let me ask you this. Has Steph not given everything he has every time on the court?
I think Steph has. That's what I said. If
Okay.
he's going in the top 10, Shaq is coming off of there
Okay, look,
for
I
me.
don't care. To me, I don't care who you take out. Somebody got to go.
Shaq is the only expendable. Maybe Will is in a whole nother planet. But Shaq is the only expendable in that list for me.
but you hear what you just said, Al? You just said in the same sentence, Shaq, as dominant as he was, didn't reach his full potential.
No, I didn't say. I said didn't stay at his full potential for as long as these other guys. Shaq had a dominant 4 year run. I felt like Kobe had like a 10. Duncan had however long, but like
Okay.
15. Like
All right. I'm glad. All right. I'm glad I brought it back so you can clear that up. Because I'm about to say, which one Shaq averaged 50? like,
Shaq damn near could average 50. Like
he could have. That's what I'm getting to. Like, yo, that's insane.
I mean, well,
that really should be like a 40-20 player.
well,
For
I mean,
his whole
Greg
career,
Oden
like,
was really good
Right.
until he got hurt, like all the time, right? Greg Oden, remember
But
Greg
he
Oden?
never led the league in rebounding. Never led the league in blocks.
My point is this: you can't say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, I mean, you got to live on what happened. What's happening right now
Right.
is
That's what I'm
Steph
saying.
Curry revolutionized the game of basketball. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
He changed
Yeah.
the game of
Very
basketball. He's the greatest shooter ever, right? Is that
Correct.
accurate? He got 2 MVPs,
Yes.
4-time NBA champion,
Mm-hmm.
NBA Finals
Mm-hmm.
MVP. What
Mm-hmm.
more does the man need to do? And he light skin. What more does the man need to do to get into the top 10 conversation? I'm just trying to figure out, like, what he need
He's
another
in
championship?
competition.
He need another. No.
He's in,
All right. So what does he need to do to get into the top 10?
so Taywan is saying, like, what does he need to do to be
Solidified.
solidified? Like, whereas guys,
everybody.
like typically everybody's top 10 is either going to have a combination of Mike, Magic, and Kareem. Like, what does Steph need to do to be with those guys? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Me.
Oh, you breaking up something, sir, shorty.
And you frozen. And you look like you're having a stroke. Somebody call him and check on him.
Right.
In my back, my back.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. I was saying everybody in my list are two-way players. That's why Shaq, to me, is the only expendable one on that list. Shaq never had a dominant defense. Like I said, never led the league in blocks, never led the league in rebounds. Tim Duncan has, Wilt has, and Kareem has.
That don't make you a
Kareem
dominant
has.
defender, though.
He's not even all NBA first team defense. So, like I said, he's in that conversation. If he's top 10, for me, the only person that's coming up out of that list is Shaq. So, are we saying that Steph Curry was better than Shaq? If we are, cool. But if we're not, sorry. Steph Curry is at 11. He definitely surpassed Kevin Durant for me.
That's funny because
it wasn't even a question if he was past it, but
that's two unicorns at opposite ends. Like, you will never find a player as big, as nimble, as quick as Shaq at that position.
right.
That combination of speed and power was just unreal. And
Right.
then with Steph, it's like you mentioned, they changed the way basketball is played. Well, he changed it.
Yeah.
By his ability to shoot the long ball.
Certainly.
If I could jump in here, I really don't care, to be honest, because I truly believe having an all-time top 10 list is like, one, there's no set criteria for it, and then two, it's really just based on your preference. Like, there's no set list, because this game has so many great players that you can argue is top 10, and that could be based on skill level. um like, if it has to be accolades, you're going to slight somebody who don't have as much accolades as the next person, but from a skill level and a talent level, that person might be an overall better player. For example, Al said he won't put Kevin Durant in the conversation, but skill for skill, how can you say Steph Curry is better than Kevin Durant? Skill for skill, just on the basketball court, not accolades, just flat out hooping. What player in the top 10 is better than Kevin Durant skill for skill? You see what I'm saying?
Mike, Kobe.
That's a short list.
It's a very short list.
That's my point. That's why I can't personally
not skill for skill.
say what's the consensus all-time list. It's truly just based on your preference, because it's going to be hard for somebody to change your mind about your top 10 list. But Steph Curry is a Hall of Famer. Like, isn't that what the goal is? To be the greatest to ever play it? You know what I mean? In that conversation, he's in that conversation. Ain't no way about it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's the greatest shooter we've seen from a statistical standpoint, and he got rings. He got the MVPs, Finals MVPs, All Stars, gold medal. Like, he got it all. If he's your top 10,
Does Steph have a gold medal? I don't think he has one.
He was on the 2012 team.
No, he wasn't.
Either 12 or 16.
I don't
Double
think.
check. I think it was 12 or 16. One of them he was on.
Correct. Durant does, yes. Not
I
Curry.
know Durant was on a couple of them. Are you sure Steph wasn't on the 16 team?
I don't think so.
If you're not on the 16, well,
I agree with what you're saying, Herb, about.
Well, no, he was just on the FIBA team. He ain't played in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
He was on the FIBA team.
I agree with what you're saying about the criteria, because Al's criteria, you gotta be a two-way player. You had to have donated at least $2 million to charity. You got to do all this kind of stuff to make Al's list. And to me, all I'm saying is, if you revolutionize the game, and I believe Steph Curry is top 2 at his position, top 3 possibly his position all time. So I don't understand like what more he needs to do. Like,
right.
I agree with everything you just said. Like, he's top 2 of his position. I've moved him above Zeke. I've moved him above Stock. I've moved him to top 2 in his position. I agree with that. But AI revolutionized the game.
But you got 4 centers in.
But see, I don't even get the positional rankings. I don't even understand that. How y'all can say that? But
I'm just saying, you got 4 centers.
But
and from that standpoint, he got 4 centers.
Well. And AI is not being in the argument.
Right. You got 4 centers, but you got to think basketball evolved.
It has.
Like, how can you not have AI as a top 10 player? How can you not have Kevin Durant, who was a 7-footer with handles, with guard skills? Guys like Charles Barkley was like the first super undersized power forward to dominate the league.
He was the Wayne Wade side.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's so hard to say who's top 10.
That's why I said it's not just skill. He was the Wayne Wade's height, getting rebounds over 7-footers.
Yes, right. That's what I'm saying. That's insane.
Right.
That's top 10 worthy. But no one will
It's not a
say.
skill thing. Like I think accolades and accomplishments for me is what does not put Durant there. If it's skill, Durant is easily top 5, probably. Like easily.
But if it's accolades, why Durant don't get it? He got MVPs. He got Finals
He got
MVP.
8 MVP. He has 2 rings with Steph.
So why Kobe in then? Kobe has 8 Finals MVP,
He has
8
no.
MVP.
He has 8 MVP, 2 Finals MVPs, and whoever you want to blame, Dirk or KG, don't have 2 3-peats. That's the only reason he don't have 2 3-peats. But Kobe was the best player in the league for 10 years.
But you see how he moved another criteria, Taywan?
Yeah.
Because
I
Kevin
mean,
Durant was the best player in the
Kobe
league for
was the best player in the league
league.
for 10 years. You can't say that about Kevin Durant.
What?
Kevin Durant ain't never been better than LeBron.
What?
He ain't never been
Oh
better
my
than LeBron.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
He ain't never been better than LeBron in the league.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
And
Ro,
I
you
ain't even a
that.
LeBron guy. But I
We
mean,
see the Coach K Orioles.
Gotta call a spade with a spade.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I just think it is what it is with these all-time lists. Like, basketball is a sport that has to evolve. Whether you like it or not, you gotta go with it. So it's unfair to say who's top 10 all time, because we mentioned all these guys who played in 80s, 90s, 2000s. That's the list we had so far. Mm-hmm. But those guys was inspired by Dr. J, who they would say was the greatest, or Oscar Robertson, or someone like David Thompson, someone like George Gervin. Mm-hmm. You got Kareem on the list, Bill Russell. Who, like, it's so many guys, so you can't knock it. Like, I can't pick 10. That's insane. And then like our generation is so caught up in accolades, like it's the end all be all, that we slight great players because they don't have it. Like, that's crazy.
I'm sorry. I will now and forever be an accolades guy, because to me, when I say accolades, I mean wins and losses. The MVPs, that's cool and all, but to me, if you play a team sport, if you play a sport, the objective is to win. Like, and if you win, to me, that should be the criteria for almost everything.
Yeah, but shouldn't that
to me,
go to the team?
What's that?
Right.
Shouldn't that
to me, that
go
goes
to the team instead of the individual?
Well, it depends. If you the MVP on a team that's winning, like I mean, you just can't have the same. I don't know. You just can't say, "Oh, it's the team." Yeah, it's a team, but at the same time, if that individual is the most pivotal part on that team, like, you got to give that person credit for that, in my opinion.
Credit as far as like in both ways, like as a loser or a winner.
Correct.
All right, so I got somebody in mind. Tell me if this player, I'm gonna say his name, and tell me if he's an all-time great. All right, Mitch Richmond.
I don't know Mitch Richmond's stats.
You say all-time good, you don't know his stats.
I don't.
All right, Mitch Richmond is a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a champion. He's all-time good.
How many championships Mitch Richmond got?
He got one. He caught one with the Lakers in 2002.
Okay.
That was it.
So is define all-time great? Like,
was he a great player?
I know Mitch Richmond was a great shooter back in the day. So say he's an all-time great player. I don't know. I don't know his accolades besides the one championship.
He got one championship, like 12. No, I don't think he got that many All-Star. He got a bunch of All-Star games though.
Okay. All-time great. When I think of all-time great, I'm thinking maybe top 15 players.
Damn. I opened it up to at least 30.
15 players in the league. In the league that only had 5,000 in the history of the league.
Unless you want to go by position.
Wow.
You say all-time great. I mean, you're talking about people that changed the game of basketball. in my opinion. Like, I mean, how do you just keep it open for so many people? Like, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like having it. If you're all time great, you're all time great. Like, you can't have an all time great with 85 people. Like, I mean, it just don't make sense.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be a certain amount. Wouldn't you cap it at 20? Like, I
I
mean,
capped it at 30 for all time great.
I don't know. I just can't. I mean, how many people we trying to
The
let
NBA,
in?
the NBA capped at 75 for 75 years.
Okay, 75 years, 75 players. That's pretty good for
75,
but that's not all.
75 out of 5,000.
All
I
right,
consider
all 75 of them are all time greats.
not the list they put out. I would put somebody, but at the same time, you can't like how can you knock that? Because that was the era they played in.
But what I'm
And that's
saying,
my
Here's
point.
the thing. I'm talking about somebody modern day that's in that list that I wouldn't say is an all time great.
There's a couple people modern day.
But I wouldn't think, and I'm a fan of his as well. I don't think Damian Lillard is an all time great.
Agreed.
I don't think he's an all time great.
Agreed.
I don't think, me personally, I don't think, even though he got two finals MVPs, I don't think Kawhi is an all time great. He don't play enough to be an all time great.
I don't think he's an all time great either. I think he's a great player, but to me, when I think of all time great, I'm talking about the upper echelon of the upper echelon. That's what I think about. That's why I say 15 players. Like,
okay,
like I mean, like you said, Charles Barkley is a great player. Like, right? Like, I mean, but I'm not. That's a bad example. Let me say this.
Slow down.
I'm about to say Charles is definitely all time.
I say
great
you
player.
better than a lot of the power forwards.
Charles Barkley is an all-time great player, right? So, but when you think about who's just below Kevin Durant in the all-time power forwards at that, who was it? I don't know.
Small forwards?
Yeah,
Did I say Kevin Durant?
Small forward.
I meant not Kevin Durant. I meant
KG.
KG, Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, who's just below Kevin Garnett?
So who you say as power forwards? So I would say when I think of 5 best power forwards, is somewhere a combination of Duncan, KG, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, and probably Kevin McHale.
This motherfucker's high.
I mean, someone put. I'm just thinking like who would. I'm just thinking who would put in there. Like I would put Chris Webber in that mix. I'll put Dirk in that mix. I forgot Dirk.
You left Dirk out that mix. Well.
First one, he
that mix. My bad. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't no slight at Dirk. I'm a Dirk fan. Like
it was just like
it was no slight. Dirk, Kevin McHale, Chris Webber, like they the greatest.
All right, so let's say
just
Kevin.
Mention,
let's say Chris Webber is 6 or 7, right?
Uh-huh.
Chris Webber was a great player. Would you agree with that?
Very great.
Okay.
Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
But there's a big difference between Chris Webber and Tim Duncan.
Right? No,
not really.
No, the only difference is the coaching and the players around him.
No, what I'm talking about accolades, right?
That's it. That's the only difference.
Yeah, accolades. Yeah,
that's gotta matter at some point. That's gotta matter.
To me, that's what put Tim Duncan as the best power forward. It's his accolades.
I agree. But it's a difference between 1 and 7.
When you say like okay, all right.
If it's a difference between 1 and 7, to me, the cutoff for all-time great should be 3, possibly. That's just me. Like if you after 3, then you're probably not an all-time great. And that's just me.
Because, like I said, in the same breath, I just said that Charles Barkley is an all-time great. He's not in that top 3 for me. The top 3 is Duncan, KG, and Malone.
Hell no.
To me,
what you say, Moses? Moses played center.
No, I say Moses.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
I'm out. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, man. I get what you're saying though.
What's that?
Roland said Gilbert Arenas was right. F anybody who played before 1985. He can look at the tape and tell if they were bums in comparison to players after 95 to today.
That's some bullshit.
Accomplishments or not. Bill Russell was 6'10", 210 pounds, and won championships in the mostly white 10-team league. Eventually, we need to make room for those guys to exit the conversation.
What's
That's
wrong with
cool.
white players?
But you
When is
see,
it not?
that mindset is why I said there's no set all-time top 10 list.
So
Because
there's
if
three
you
things.
walk around with that mindset, Michael Jordan will come off that list in 20 years.
There's three things about that. First off, when is the league not 10 teams? You ain't gonna name past 10 that's a goddamn finals champion contender. They're not naming more than 10. So the league has always been 10 teams. When is the league not 10? Let's stop that.
Al, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Secondly,
Al, wait. You can't say that because there's guys on your list of all-time greats who ain't been in the finals. You can't say that.
Who ain't been in the finals?
Who's your all-time greats, man?
Kareem. What you mean? Like the
I'm
top
saying
10?
like you said you can't name more than when the NBA hasn't been 10 teams.
Yes.
But with that mindset, it's only a handful of players should be considered all-time greats. And that's not true.
Who is an all-time great and ain't been to the finals?
Or should I
You
say
ain't
won
naming
the
one.
finals?
Huh?
The all-time great that hasn't been to the finals?
Yeah. You're not naming one.
Dominique Wilkins is the all-time great.
He's good. All-time good. I'm gonna put him all-time great. Like I said, I put the cutoff at 30. You ain't naming the top 30 that ain't been to the NBA finals. It's not possible.
That's insane.
Hell, even AI took goddamn Philly to the finals. Jason Kidd took the Nets to the finals twice. You ain't naming the top 30 that ain't been to the NBA finals. It's not possible.
All right. Okay.
Karl Malone went there 2 times in a row. John Stockton went there 2 times in a row. Charles went there once. Hakeem went there 3 times. You're not naming the top 30 that ain't been in the NBA finals. It's not possible. I'm sorry.
Josh, did you freeze, T?
No.
Oh, he ain't freeze. He ain't freeze.
No. That's
but again, if we cut off people before 1985, that is not an all-time list. How the hell's it all time and you cutting it off at 30 years? 36 years. That's crazy.
Rolling Karl Malone was good. I ain't think Karl Malone was better than Charles Barkley, but Karl Malone, he was solid.
More points, more rebounds, MVP, more finals.
Yeah, that's just longevity and good coaching and a great system. That's all that is. Sometimes you fall into the right situation. That's what it is.
So
because and that's if that wasn't the case, if what I just said wasn't the case, look at any of your top 10 lists and point to the guy who played in multiple systems and went to multiple finals. You're only gonna find maybe 1 or 2. And then to be fair, well, yeah, you're gonna find probably 1 or 2. LeBron and who else?
That was the same system. Get the ball up.
But technically that's the same system.
That's the same system.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, what system LeBron play in? The one that he created his goddamn self? Like that's
right.
So I said technically it's not even yeah.
And you better play in that system the correct way, or your ass getting traded.
Yeah, technically,
that's what it
is. The system and the players around you. That's what gets you the accolades.
Yeah.
And the coaching. That's all it,
but you have the league
is. But just flat out ball, it's a lot of players that many would consider as good players. That's better than someone you would say is great players just on playing basketball. Accolades aside. Like that player that you consider good will bust that players you consider great, you know what? Every day of the week.
But I mean, again, I think that would be 2 different arguments because, like you said, skill doesn't take into effect your system you're in, your coaches, all of that. Skill is skill. Tracy McGrady was skill.
My final thing that I'll say on it is you can't have. I think people use the word great too loosely. And people downplay the word good. Good is
Good
really
player.
good.
Really
It's a
good.
good player. When you great is good, great, best, in my opinion. Like best can be maybe the top person at their position. Great can be, like I said, top 15 overall. Good is everybody else that's worth a great grain of salt. And then you got mediocre, average. Like I think we just throw the word around too loosely. So when you say all-time great, like to me, you got to be up there.
You gotta be 5 guys.
No, I feel like no. I said best is 5, great is 15. I think Steph Curry's an all-time great. Now, is he top 10? That's going to be debatable, like you said, based on who's saying what and what everybody else's individual criteria is. But I think if you get a poll together and you pick a certain criteria, then that's the only way you can literally go through and say, okay, this person meets all 3 of these criteria. But until then, it's going to be left to opinion, like you said.
Right. And when you said best, it's like, that even the way you broke it down, that makes the list even shorter. In my opinion.
I don't agree with that, but it's cool.
Like
it's not worth it. You said the best is only the top of their position.
Agreed.
It makes the list shorter.
Yeah.
There's only 5 guys.
I agree.
Best my top 5, I got 2 shooting guards.
Huh?
Saying my top 5, I have 2 shooting guards.
See, that's the thing. See, everybody want a loophole. There's no loophole.
Right. The best point guard, best shooting guard, best small forward. Yeah.
That's it.
Ain't no way how you gonna convince me that Tim Duncan is better than Kobe. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen. Ever.
Bro.
But he said he the best Kobe. Forward.
Then pick Kobe as a shooting guard then.
Right.
That's he's not better than Mike. I'm not gonna slight him.
So then pick Mike.
Like Tim Duncan.
So then pick
you
Mike.
You can't have it both ways. That's
right.
That's the problem with this generation. We want everything.
Both of them are top 5 players. Tim Duncan is not a top 5 player.
So then he took Magic out.
I'm damn sure taking Magic out. Magic is the greatest point guard. Ain't no question about it.
So
I guess
I want to hear your best. Al, you have to pick one person from each position only. You can't have 2 shooting guards in.
Okay.
Your best 5.
The best 5.
The best person at each position historically in basketball.
Magic, Mike, LeBron, Duncan, Kareem.
That's it.
That's your 5.
That's it. That's the best.
That's not my 5 because ain't no way in hell you would convince me that Tim Duncan
is better than
Kobe. Kobe is the best.
Rest his soul. But I mean, if Kobe wanted to be in that list, then he had to be better than Mike.
Right.
That's just what it is.
He better than Mike. Yeah. All right, y'all force my hand. Mike got to go. If y'all force my hand, Mike got to go.
Oh man! All right, man. Y'all see Coach Tay's his name.
Yes.
Coach Tay. Y'all see it? There you go. Coach Tay, Orioles on nostalgia. Rain session. This is yours, Coach.
Look, I have to say this because I have been on the sideline talking and not the group talking with these Orioles fans. There has been a post today in which it was glorified and celebrated that the Orioles have reached 30 wins in 68 games. Now, mind you, that is 8 games below 500. And everybody is they excited about this. This organization has been so bad that they got you guys excited about being 8 games below 500. Yes, it's an upgrade from before. Yes, it took them 92 games last year. Everybody, it took 92 last year. Guess what? That's an upgrade. No, what it is still bad. We have to call a spade a spade. Everybody, you got to know what's coming along the pipeline. I see what's coming along the pipeline. And I heard this before for the last 2 to 3 decades. Listen to me carefully. Until it happens, it's not going to happen. They are not willing to compete. They got a $30 million roster, and the 2 top teams in our division have $200 million rosters. If you don't want to pay to play, then you're not going to compete. I'm so tired of the Orioles banking on old nostalgia. I mean, it's so terrible when you think about it. Like, they are getting you guys to believe in stuff like Cal Ripken playing in 2,000 and something games. So he played in 2,000 something games. The object of the game is to win the World Series, which the Orioles have not done since what? What's it, 70s, 80s, early 80s?
Before
83.
we were born.
Before we were born. Bro, I'm old as hell. They are not, they have not won anything. And you guys are still optimistic. Oh, it's a new regime. Elias is there. I know. But as long as Angelos is at the top, they can only do what Angelos letting them do. Yeah, like, the Suns is not butting in. The Suns is just letting them do this. Okay, then why they ain't spending no money? I don't want to hear, Masson just cost them $300 million and because of the Nationals and all this kind of stuff. You have to spend money to make money. They are not doing it. Where are they going to get the money from? Nobody coming to see it. Yes, because don't nobody know nobody. Nobody knows anybody on the team. That's why nobody's coming out there. They could have paid Nelson Cruz. They didn't pay Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz still playing. They could have played Manny Machado. They didn't pay Manny Machado. They could have played Scope. They didn't pay Scope. I'm tired of hearing it. We got to call a spade a spade. The Orioles are terrible. They've been terrible for a long time. They're going to continue to be terrible, and they're going to sell you on dreams that they're going to be great. Until they're great, I don't want to hear anything about what they're going to do, what they could potentially do. We are worse than what the Cleveland Browns used to be to the game of baseball. We're that bad, historically and presently. More presently than historically. I'm tired of it. Orioles fans, get your head out of the clouds. Nothing's changing. I don't care who's coming up. Nothing's changing. Nothing. Y'all said all this prospect stuff before, and guess what? Y'all let your prospect go to San Diego and get paid. Manny Machado was, Manny's going to be this. Manny's going to be that. Guess what? We ain't paying him. Somebody else going to pay him. So we gone. I'm tired of it. Rant is over.
So Manny was everything the Orioles expected him to be, and they said, "You know what? We're not gonna pay you."
Make it make sense.
I mean, they paid Chris Davis though.
Yeah, he on Adderall. He was on Adderall. They knew that when they paid him, bruh. I can't. You have to make it make sense to me. Please make it make sense to me. But
so someone asked, would you rather them move to Tennessee? Now, I'm going to answer this as someone who's not an Orioles fan. I would not rather them move to Tennessee. That is part of my city. I'm not a fan of the team, but I like to catch a game. I don't know nobody there, but I'll catch a game or two. So no, I wouldn't want them to move to Tennessee.
Al, let me tell you this. If you go to the only reason to go to Orioles is this: opening day, because opening day is a national pastime, right? If they do an anniversary of the the 83 team that won, which will probably come next year for 40-year anniversary, right? That's it. That and when they 20 years ago, Cal Ripken had the streak. They are banking on nostalgia. Everything from everything in the past. It's nothing. They're putting nothing out in front of you that says, come out and see the Orioles because of this. They did have the number one prospect come in Rushman, and Rushman came up, right? One person. But he still, if you looked at that lineup the day Rushman played, it's just like, I don't understand how you expect me to get excited about that. Everybody, oh, you're not excited? No, I'm not. What am I excited about? I've heard this before. I've seen this before. Rushman could bat 325 and average 25 home runs a game. And then when it comes time to arbitration, they don't want to pay him arbitration. And then when it's time to pay him real money in free agency, guess what? They're not going to pay him. That's what you have to look forward to. Because no matter how many people you got in the pipeline to come up, if the philosophy is wrong, then nothing's going to change. And until the philosophy changes and it shows results and it start bearing fruit, nothing is going to come of it. And we're going to be looking at the same Orioles team, the same empty stadiums. I don't care if they put Jimmy Seafood in there. I don't care if they put Boog's Barbecue. I don't care if they put Black Swan food in there. I'm not going. I don't want to see it. Tired of these people, man. I'm tired of it. Enough's enough.
What's Black Swan, though?
Black Swan's a restaurant downtown.
Fleet Street, yeah.
Black owned. And then y'all got me on here ranting in front of Al, who's just sitting back here relishing this because he's a Yankees fan. This is ridiculous. I can't even believe these guys, man. Like this.
I mean, the Yankees ain't too far from the Orioles, though, right? From what I hear, I ain't seen baseball in like 6 years, 15 years, maybe. I don't know.
Bring up the AL East record. I'll show you where they at, and I'll tell you where we at. The Yankees are 49-17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Blue Jays 38-28. They the top two in the division. Yankees are 11 games ahead of everybody else.
I sound like typical Yankees. All right, they right on schedule.
Yeah. I don't care about the market. Pay to play.
And this is the thing. I like the Yankees, but I don't watch enough games to say I'm a Yankees fan. I don't watch enough games. I watch them in October. I hope they win the pennant, but I don't watch enough games to say I'm a fan. Like, that's just.
You know what Orioles fans doing in October?
Watching the Yankees.
Watching the Ravens.
Watching the Ravens. That's what they're doing. They're watching the Ravens. And it's funny because the same dudes that will kill Greg Roman, the same dudes that will kill Joe Flacco, the same dudes that will kill Steve Bisciotti and Ozzie Newsome because they did this and they did this, will give the Orioles a pass because of potential. It doesn't make sense to me. You can't have it both ways. You can't kill the Orioles. It's because there's an expectation from the Ravens, and it's not an expectation from the Orioles. That's the only difference. And I'm saying, at what point are we going to hold them to some type of expectation? It's terrible.
Mm.
All right, rant really over, though. That's ridiculous.
All right. Question. Who would have made more money through NIL? If it was allowed back then, who would have made more money? Tim Tebow or Reggie Bush?
Al, you going?
I'll go.
Good.
I think at the time, I feel like Tim Tebow would have eventually made more money. As the quarterback, as a Heisman Trophy winner, as a champion, two-time champion, I feel like he would have made more money.
This is easy for me, baby. I'm going with the Caucasian, Christian, conservative parts of Florida. The person who would have made more money. Ain't no way in hell. Tim Tebow made money down there. Tim can say what he want. Tim would have made way more money. I think Reggie Bush was way more electrifying as a player, but Tim would have made more money because he's more marketable in their eyes. And Reggie
I
Bush,
feel like that. I don't know, because both teams were stacked. Both teams was loaded to the brim with talent. But did you put that much money? Like I said, Matt Leinart won MVP, if I'm not mistaken, when Reggie Bush was there. Do you put that type of money into Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush? Well, they had a wide receiver. I can't think of who it is right now. Palmer was Palmer. Who was that defense? Their defense was loaded too. Like there was so many NFL players on both teams.
And I say what I said, even after thinking about the markets too, because you're talking about Florida and you're talking about LA, Southern California, whatever. And I still say Tim Tebow. Because at that time, I mean, Tim Tebow was can't miss in everybody's eyes. Tim Tebow was mediocre in the NFL and still was can't miss in people's eyes, bro. It's crazy to even think about that.
I would have to agree with Tebow as well, just from the standpoint that when I hear people talk about the greatest college player, his name always comes up. Like quarterback or not, like he's in the mix of like the top 10 college athletes ever. Some like same people will argue Bush is in the mix, but for them, Tim Tebow was a definite. And like you said, T, like Al was you who mentioned, my bad. You said the Florida team was stacked. To be fair, the average fan wouldn't know none of them names if it wasn't for Tim Tebow. Because we was turning on to watch Tim Tebow anyway.
That's crazy. Because Percy Harvin was definitely what made me a Florida fan.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. The average person be like, yo, who 15? Like, I think it would be easy to Tebow. Now, the real question is, who made more money in college, period, without the NIL?
Probably Reggie.
Reggie definitely probably got more vagina because Tim was a Christian.
You know what?
I'm just saying. But
what? Let me go ahead.
Yeah, Tim got paid, bro. Look, Shannon told y'all what was going down in Florida.
He said, "Ain't no words in Florida."
He's getting paid, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past what's my man? Coach Herb. Coach Herb loved Tebow like a son. I'm quite sure he got broke off some money.
No doubt. Herb got paid too. On top of getting paid. You heard me.
Oh, Herb definitely got.
Facts. All right. New segment. Coach Tay, you want to introduce this for everybody?
Yeah, so with the stock up, stock down segment, what we're going to be doing is just selecting teams and saying whose stock we think is up and whose stock we think is down, based on additions, subtractions, things of that nature. And that's pretty much how we were going to do it for NFL teams. Obviously, being new and us being Baltimore-based, we're going to start with the Ravens today. And we're just going to name a couple players each and figure out who we think stock is going to go up this year and whose stock is going to go down. All right. So,
quick question.
Yes.
Stock up means they're going to be a better player than they was the previous year, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better player, and not only better player, but meaning that value is going to go up. Or, that value is going to go up.
Okay.
All right, so who want to go first?
Or are you going to name some players?
Oh, I can name some players. First player I want to say stock up is going to be for the Ravens. I'm going to say obviously Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams is in a good position to lead our defense. I think eventually, I don't know if Chuck going to leave or not, but I think eventually it comes down to Marcus Williams being the guy who's going to take over in that secondary. Other stock up, James Prochet. Everything I'm seeing looks like James Prochet is ready to break out. Another
I'm
stock
gonna
up
say stocks stay the same fucking price.
for Prochet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For some odd reason, Harbaugh don't like that nigga. So stocks stay the same goddamn price.
This person just got here, my next guy, but I knew this in the draft process. I knew he was going to be. I knew it didn't matter what team he went to, but the fact that he went to a tight end friendly team, and that's Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is going to be, in my opinion, a great part of this offense. I can already see that everybody loves Isaiah Likely. Defense is talking about him. The offensive players are talking about him. The coaches are talking about him. Everybody's talking about Isaiah Likely at camp. Now, of course, he got to do it in the game, but I think he's going to get his opportunity to do it in the game. Stock up, J.K. Dobbins. I don't even really need to say much. We kind of covered this last week a little bit. J.K. Dobbins, stock up. I think him in the passing game is going to be out of this world. Stock down. Stock down. I'm going to go Patrick McCarry. Here's why. In my opinion,
You're worse than zero.
at best, Patrick McCarry can be left guard on this team. At best. With that being said, most people who sign the same type of extension that Patrick McCarry signed and have the role that Patrick McCarry signed end up not being on the team in the next year or two. That's just what it is. If he's going to be a swing lineman, then I'm not looking forward to long term for Patrick McCarry. His stock's going down. Next stock down. Based on what I've seen in the past and what I think is going to happen in the future, Greg Roman. Now, y'all might not know we was throwing coaches in there. Greg Roman's in there. Because if Greg ain't setting the world on fire in the first 4 weeks, Greg is going to be demoted to run game coordinator or at best demoted to run game coordinator. So I'm going to say Greg has to set the world on fire. I mean, we got to be scoring at least 28 points a game.
That's not fair though.
Life ain't fair.
No. What you saying? You're absolutely right. Because as Ravens fans, we complain about Greg Roman. We still score 28 points.
Well, yes.
Think about it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
So, like, that's not fair to say. Like,
it's not fair. But if there's any struggle at all, Greg Roman is out of there.
See, this is the thing here. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
But you said Greg Roman, that's a trigger word for me nowadays. I don't care what his stats say. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't even give a damn what the scoreboard say.
You got to care about that one.
If that situational play calling stays the exact same, he out of there. He has to be. Like, we're complaining about the same shit they got you a ring in 2012. Run the ball power. If they run the ball power, San Francisco beats us in the Super Bowl. You have Frank Gore. We don't have Nada up front. Run the fucking ball instead of trying to throw 3 fades to Jimmy Smith side, covered in Crabtree. Run the fucking ball.
I think the first one they tried to throw to Moss, that shit didn't work.
Whoever. You throwing the ball and we ain't got our goddamn power.
I mean, 52 was still out there.
And 52 was old as a whore and stiff after the lights out pause.
That's when he had the deer antler spray, right? On him.
Right. I'm powering Ray old ass out of there. He got to get up out of there. He got to move. Like I said, Nada ain't in front. You got Buddy Boy up there, and I think you got Buddy Boy and Cody. I'm powering their ass out the field. That's
I
the reason we haven't ring in 2012.
agree with you, Al. I agree. That's why I said I think his stock is down because his margin of error is so slim. Like it's so slim. He can't do anything wrong. Like nothing. He can't do anything wrong, in my opinion. Because if he
This
does,
nigga say the wrong name, he got it in. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
that's
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
saying. Like if he got
This
the
nigga
wrong
mentioned the
player in
bowl.
at the wrong time or something like that, like
If
it's
this
gonna be
nigga
like
mentioned the
what?
bowl any time in September, he out of here.
I agree with you.
Like,
Um, my last stock down, I'm gonna go with Broderick Washington because, in my opinion, here's why. Broderick Washington, in my opinion, is now what 4, 5 on a totem pole with the new additions. I mean,
wow.
you got Matabike, you got Matabike, you got Calais, you got Travis Jones, you got Pierce.
You know, Broderick play in, right?
Yeah, he plays in, but still, I mean, you still brought so many people in. In my opinion, his stock is down because they were so high on him at first, and now it's like, all right, well, they were so high on him, he would be stepping into a role, but he's not now.
Hmm. Okay.
I think his stock is more up than it is down because of if you sit there and watch his play last season as his reps increase based on injuries, he played very well.
I agree.
Like really, really well. And then you look at the off season with by Wolf not being there, um, him and Urban and what's the boy Matabike, Calais, they've been getting a lot of reps, and Broderick Washington was a name I've heard multiple times over this period. Granted, there hasn't been no pads or anything, but I think with his age and experience in the system, his stock can go up. It's more likely to go up than down. So I only see Brent Urban as a situational guy.
Well, I think
Like
they only see Broderick Washington as a situational guy.
yeah, but it's not. But think about it. I think he has more of an opportunity to start and see more reps because guys like Urban, guys like Calais, who are old, especially Calais, who are older, you want to use them in key moments. You want to keep them fresh. So it's on Broderick to maximize his opportunities. Like
I re-
you don't want Calais playing 65 snaps on defense, do you?
I get what you're saying, and what I didn't take really into consideration is our defensive coordinator is the type of defense coordinator that'll switch a whole unit out just to have somebody
Immediately.
fresh in. So,
Immediately.
with that being said, I guess I could understand your argument of his stock going down because I didn't really factor that in. But he is known to just say, "All right, the whole unit's coming out, and we're gonna go with this unit." So with
And and that's kind of what he's been preaching. I know everybody been asking like difference between you, this and that. If if you look at the moves we made this offseason, whether it be in multiple safeties, multiple linemen, still bringing in pass rushers, it's all about having the right personnel on the field for that call. And they echo that multiple times this offseason. Like, who's in this situation when I call this that knows, like, if you're lining up at, at 4I, just because you line up at 4I, you still need to know what the guy behind you is doing, what the safety guy on this particular play call. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like they going from that mindset. They taking on that approach this season. So I feel like Broderick Washington, his stock is about the same or trending up. But it's up to him ultimately, like,
Mhm.
because it's a short leash. Because you mess up, it's like, all right, bro, hey, going
Mm.
out. Aaron Crawford come in, somebody else come in. It's what it is. Because I think you gave out a lot of softball names, T.
Well, I've been saying these guys' stocks up.
Yeah, but it's a lot of softball names. So I'm gonna give it a name where like that's spicy a little bit.
Okay.
Patrick Queen.
Stock up.
And
I'm
the
gonna
reason,
say,
go ahead. Want me explain why I say Patrick Queen first, or
well, I know why I think you said Patrick Queen, but go ahead.
because when they switched him to the weak side backer, Patrick Queen looked like the best linebacker in the division, and he finished that way. I say stock up because now it's an opportunity to go from best linebacker in the division to best linebacker in the conference. That's what I'm saying.
Only reason I would agree stock up is because of who's in front of him. I think having Travis Jones in front of him, having Michael Pierce in front of him is going to be able. Those guys two gap extremely well. So with the ability to two gap well, it allows him to be able to flow and just if he can read it and just take off. So I'll agree with that. Just having those guys in front of him is a big thing.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. It started by them two gapping and having Owe 1-on-1 on the edge. What?
That would be stock up for me. Oway, stock up.
Oh yeah, his stock way up.
So yeah, Oway stock up. Um,
What about
like you said, likely.
likely?
hmm Um,
What about Ferris Bueller? Say,
Who's Ferris Bueller?
Bueller?
who be missing class and all that.
Lamar?
Who, Lamar?
Yeah, what about his stock?
I mean, he an MVP. I mean, I don't know if his stock can really go too much further. Really,
Okay.
Niggas gonna get mad at me.
go ahead, Al. Stock down.
Yes, sir.
Is it because of Greg or is it because of Lamar?
It's because of Greg. It's because of Eric. It's because of John.
Oh wow, just going down. Is it because of Dick Cass too? Just keep naming.
Whoever. Sashi Brown.
Still his fault.
Shaka Khan. All them niggas.
Not sure.
Stock down. I mean, stock up as a running back.
Oh
Not
wow.
bad for a running back. But,
Oh, I know why you saying this now.
well,
This is because you don't believe in the receivers. That's what it is.
no. I was about to say Bateman, stock up. He helped you with Lamar. Nigga, get prepared for all the targets. Every target that ain't going to Mark Andrews, you can catch him.
But you just said Isaiah Likely stock up.
Okay, well, 90% of the ones that ain't going. The stock ain't got no choice but to go up. You're a rookie. I don't think it's gonna go down. I don't think he got bust.
I think I don't know. I haven't heard much about Charlie Cole. I think what they doing, I get what they're doing. They want to solidify the middle of the field, and they're going to do that. Like I believe they're going to do that. But because when you do that, it holds those linebackers in, and it makes those dump offs to the running back so much more explosive. So I'm that's what I'm excited to. I think Lamar's completion percentage is going to go up drastically if he takes what the defense gives him, because the defense is going to have to give him the back out the backfield. They have to do it, because if not, then our tight ends are going to be running down the middle of the field and having field days. Those linebackers have to carry with those tight ends a little bit for at least 4 or 5 yards.
So instead of completing 64% of his passes, he gonna complete
71, 72.
Okay, Kurt.
That's insane.
Check down Charlie.
You can call it a check down, or you can just call it the right play. I mean, if you check it down to the running back and that running back get 15 yards after that.
I mean, some people say check down Charlie. Some people say the GOAT.
It's also
It's what it
True.
is.
True.
I mean, at the end of the day, what's going to win the game?
Well,
Because
you
if
offensive line,
right.
too.
As long as you win, I don't really care.
Because if you're gonna adjust and start picking up running backs and them linebackers creeping up, what they gonna do to right behind them? Gonna light that ass up.
With 3 wide receivers in the same area, one of them niggas gonna be covered.
So, real quick, Bart Scott mentioned that defenses feared Peyton Manning more than Tom Brady. Do y'all believe that?
I believe it because a lot of people saying it. Right. I think Peyton knew what you were running. Not that Tom didn't know what you were running, but Peyton knew what you were running and he knew what you were checking to. Like to the point where it just was like, okay, if they do this, then I'll do this. And he would check down to the last 3 seconds in the play clock, which is unheard of when you think about that. Like just no, they're gonna stay in that. All right, last second, we're gonna go Omar. And then he just runs something and then he gas you for whatever the case may be. I just think you can't go wrong which either way on this side of the argument because Tom would just take what you give him to. Tom was probably the most patient quarterback we've ever seen. Like, okay, I'll just keep throwing the screen here until you come up. Oh, you coming up now? All right, now I'll take a little chunk. It's just that's why I want Lamar to take that step. Like, just take what they give you, sir, and then everything else will open up. It's a different type of patience. It's a different type of patience. But Peyton was just obviously smarter than everybody else and just studied more than everybody else.
I think people, for some odd reason, still believe Tom Brady is a system guy for whatever reason.
Say it again.
I think people still believe that Tom Brady is a system guy. That's why he's saying that for whatever reason. Now, I didn't necessarily hear what he had to say, but like Tay just said, either one of them can kill you. I just think Tom did more of his damage later in the game or in January when it actually counts.
System guy meaning like he mastered the system that he's in?
No, system guy as in, well, if he didn't have Belichick or if he didn't have such and such top 10, 15 defense, whatever the case may be. And not necessarily putting it on, Tom Brady is this guy. Like I've said when he first left New England, there is no 7 or 6 ring system, or everybody will fucking run it. There is no 6 ring system. He just mastered what he did.
Actually, it might be. It's just like you said, Tay, when he was patient enough to trust it and take what you gave him.
Let's see what happened with Mac Jones then. Mac and cheese ain't gonna get sick.
Who says?
I mean, that's a different thing, different situation.
Well, it's documented that when Tampa won the title, initially Bruce Arians was not running stuff that Tom Brady wanted to run.
Correct.
And then once Tom Brady said, "Look, we need to run this," and they started allowing that stuff to take place, then Tom felt more comfortable in his system and what he likes to run. Then they eventually went on to the championship.
Whose system was that? Was that Josh McDaniels or was that Charlie Weiss? Because both of them failed without Tom Brady.
Well, that's my point. I don't think it was either one of them. I think it was Tom's.
Right. That's the point. That's the
Yeah.
point. Or it could have been stuff that they were teaching. It's just he was the best at running.
He absorbed it, right? And again, that's on him. Yeah. But I think people still try to say, "Oh, he's this because of this." Not he's this because he's Tom.
No, that's
all I'm saying.
Well, I think if it's Tom doing it, then it is because of Tom. He's Tom. right? Like, if
right.
you
I think because it's Tom being Tom. Tom is great.
right,
But what I'm saying is, I still think people will say it's because he had a top 15 defense. He's not really all of that. It's he had a top coach. He's not all of that. I think there's still a segment of people that say that. That's all I'm saying.
And someone we know pretty well said that just now. Roland said Tom is a system quarterback. He took that system to Tampa Bay. He throws the tight ends and slots while throwing the occasional deep pass outside to keep the safeties honest. Same scheme we run in Kansas City. No one wants to believe that, Roland. No one wants to believe it's the exact same thing. It's just being executed better. And the
Who
plays
the hell is calling it? When
yeah,
it count?
yeah.
I agree with that too.
That's all it is. Because you be looking like it's like in the same game, like how the hell Roman calling these plays now? It's getting you 15, 20, 30 yards. And then in certain moments, it's like, bro, stop calling the same play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have one. I have one more question.
Was that Roland that said Drew Brees threw the running back 150 times a season?
Was that Roland?
Is that Roland?
Hold up. Let me refresh this. I don't think that was Roland. Yep, okay. That was Roland.
I just want to know if that's true. If that's true.
I mean, Alvin did have 100 and some catches.
How did Slant Boy lead the league in catches?
They ain't run a damn ball. What you mean?
I'm just saying, Slant Boy.
It's a fact, though.
Slant Boy did lead the league in catches. And Colston, Willie Snead got paid by Kansas City. Somebody had to get the nigga the ball. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, that is impressive though. They ain't win nothing, no ring. But did he really have 100 some catches? Hold up, what was that? No, he had 80 catches. My bad.
Right.
He had 107 targets though.
And 150.
Right.
He might have been throwing something to Ingram that year.
No, Ingram he was with us that year.
Oh, well, they might have been throwing to somebody else that year.
He was throwing it to Slant Boy.
Hold up, who's the running back after Mark? It was Alvin and
Latavius, right?
Yeah. Let me see. This gonna mess Al up.
If Latavius got 40-something targets, yo, I'm done. Who the hell throws the ball to Latavius?
He had 26. He had 26.
I'm about to say, who the hell throws the ball to Latavius 40-something times?
He had 26. Alvin had 100 targets. Latavius had 26. So that's
131. If I'm 133.
What's that, 107?
I'm pretty sure they had a third running back that probably came in and got the rest of 150.
Was Chris Ivey there back then too?
Back in like 2009, yeah. When them niggas won the chip.
All right. So, all right. And this is in no way to like, hold up. How can I word this?
Oh, boy.
Could we talk about innovative and like great plays, great play designs across football? Outside of, all right, what was the last great football play you seen? Like design, like whether it was a route combination, whether it was a run game. What was the great, like the last one you seen, regardless of the team?
I think it was Kansas City versus us. I believe it was versus us. And they had a play design for their fullback that they scored on in the red zone. And I'm trying to think of what the design was. It was like a manufactured pick play based off motion or something. I think they motioned Tyreek Hill or something. And once we over adjusted, they ran a like kind of like a China play with for the fullback to score, and he was wide open or something like that. But it was designed so well that we was just sitting there like, oh, what are you going to do? But most of the time, it's normally Kansas City doing that.
Okay.
I mean, some of the runs, great design, the way it mimics certain runs, I like those designs. Um, but I've really been watching what San Francisco has done with their run game and like the multiple sets that they use, like multiple, like they'll put a guard or tackle in the backfield to run the ball. Or they'll have like they use Debo as a running back and wide receiver and tight end. Like they just different lineups that they have Debo all over the field as.
So you're excited that they put a guard attack on the backfield, but
No, I'm just saying that's what I've been watching. Like I can't necessarily, my memory is,
gotcha.
you know what I mean, but
Cause that kind of reminds me of like what the home team does. Like even though he played fullback, if you see him in person, he's bigger than lineman.
who Pat?
Yes,
They do the
like
same thing with
he's just as
Juice
big
over
as
there
Ben
in the
Cleveland. Huh?
49ers. They do the same thing with Juice over in 49ers
That's
too.
what I'm saying. But Juice is like when you see Juice and you see Pat Ricard, it's two totally different things.
Okay.
Like like Juice looks like a fullback
Okay.
in person. Yo, if I didn't know that was Pat Ricard, I thought that was a lineman. That's how big this man is. Like what the? All right, I kind of understand why you fall in love wanting to get him the ball, but
Mm-hmm.
slow that down on running routes. Like calm that down a little bit. But for me, I think the Ravens, their counter bash, the back away counter that they run, that play was so beautifully designed because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't from a defensive standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you come up and take the back that's going away from the play side, then Lamar keeps it with the pulling guard or tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Or I see instances where they'll pull the guard. Yeah, it'll be pulling guard and tackle. Like what do you do with that? Like how can you? They put you in a numbers game where it's like you're at a disadvantage. But then if you sit and he give it to the back and the back is in space on the edge, he gonna pick up yards. Like that was just so beautifully done. And when you look at it, whether it's Lamar or Snoop, I've yet to see that play go for negative yards.
Not only that, you got to also factor in that linebackers are reading keys, right?
Yes.
So if the linebacker is reading the guards and the guard pulls, naturally,
You
your
gotta go that
first
you gotta go with
instinct
it.
is to go that way,
He gotta stay a gap and he gotta stay a gap behind.
right? So if you go, the give is there because you're vacating, right? If you don't go and you respect the give, now, like you said, whoever's out there has got a pulling guard and a pulling tackle out there leading for
And it's
Lamar Jackson.
over.
So it basically tries to make you break your rules, is what it does. Which, as a defensive coordinator, it sucks because, like you say, you're damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Like I was like, this shit is insane.
Yeah, the run game design is pretty solid.
And then
Pretty
I
good.
looked at a couple of those plays, and a lot of them should have went for big games. Well, most of them did go for big games. The ones that didn't, the center missed the block or didn't get to the second level in time. Now you're working with a center that's quicker and a little more. Well, he's lower to the ground and
A
plays with
lot more
leverage,
agile. Yeah.
huh?
A lot more agile, yeah.
And a lot more agile. That could get really scary.
Hmm.
Could get super scary. Like it's insane.
Cool.
All right, NBA draft is coming up this week. I'm gonna be honest. Out of this entire draft, I only seen 4 players play more than one game. That's different for me. So I keep calling him Pablo. Paolo from
How?
Duke.
Yeah, Polo.
Polo, is it pronounced Polo?
I'm gonna just call him
Pablo,
Polo.
yo. I'm calling him Pablo from Duke. Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga. I seen him in high school. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
he the real like super skinny white dude.
Mhm.
Who else? Jaden Ivey at Purdue, and actually that might be it because the one from Auburn I never seen play, Jabari Smith. And it just so happens they're considered the top 4 players in this class. So Orlando has the number 1 pick. Orlando, although they have been pretty bad for the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
they have been excellent when they had the number 1 pick, as far as like picking the right player.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq, then C Webb, who they eventually packaged for Penny. So it worked out either way.
All right.
And Dwight Howard.
Right.
So they've been excellent with number 1 pick. You look at their team, they're really young with a lot of young talent. What did they do at number 1 on Thursday?
You ain't gonna like this answer because I don't like the answer. The answer is Orlando has been the Baltimore Orioles of the NBA.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say that whatever decision they make,
Mm-hmm.
they still gonna be the Orlando Magic we still see.
You
So
ain't
that's my
lying, yo. You ain't lying.
I'm gonna say this: they have not been the Orioles of the NBA. I've seen them
You
play in the championship twice.
yeah. To that
that's
point, you is true. That
yeah,
is true.
that's true.
No, they only got one play. They only got one finals win
Damn.
out of the 2 times they've been there.
One?
Hold
They
up.
only got
2
one.
times he been? Oh yeah,
Yeah, they got
Penny.
swept by Hakeem, and then 4-1 by Cole.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I haven't cared to watch the Magic since Aaron Gordon got out of there.
Cause for me, it's like the top guys are power forwards. If you look at their roster, their best players, well, they're pretty much made of like forwards and scoring guards. Like Franz Wagner, who they picked up in the draft last year from Michigan.
That's Mo brother, right?
Yeah, 6'10" power forward. Get buckets. Mo is down there as well. 6'11". Jonathan Isaac, 7 foot, basically. Mo Bamba, same thing. But Mo plays center, but he could play that stretch role. Bobo is down there. Like, do y'all really need another power forward?
Wait a minute. All them down on Orlando?
Yes, all that young talent. And then that guard they stacked Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Jalen Suggs, like Terrence Ross is still there going crazy. Like Gary Harris Jr. is down there, RJ Hampton. They have a really young team with a lot of great players. I'm like, why not trade this pick?
I was just
Get
about to
you a
say,
vet.
what's the likelihood that they trade this pick?
From
Who
what
would
I
they
hear,
get?
they good.
I'm saying who would they get? Like who are you suggesting go and get to play with those young players?
Russell Westbrook. That's your guy.
don't try and get help.
That's your guy. Go get Russell.
They said, look, hey, look, man. Never mind. See, I was about to go left. Nope. Woo! I had to stop myself. It's like, whoa. I go left
Go
off
get
camera.
Russell and reunite with Dwight Howard. I can part with them too.
I think Dwight Howard a free agent.
All right. Well, never mind. Go get Russell and LeBron James. I can part with them too.
LeBron as well, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but
I mean, he about to obliterate the team anyway. Osama Bin Laden about to get rid of them niggas. So
Osama LeBron.
motherfucker terrorist.
oh man, Osama bin Laden. That's funny. I think Tony mentioned earlier that he calling it Kyrie is going to go to the Lakers. Like, stop it.
Yo, if we have
Kyrie ain't going nowhere but
if we
Brooklyn.
have Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron, I'm sitting my ass out. I'm out. I'm tapping out this season.
And y'all gonna still lose?
I'm a free agent. Ain't no way in hell all three of them gonna be on the same team infuriating me this year. I'm tap out.
You ain't no free agent. You gonna go straight to Golden State with the rest of the folk.
I'm not trying to go to Milwaukee.
Well, Milwaukee, right? We'll get you we will see Al pop up with a Jason Tatum jersey.
Hell no. Where Jason Tatum going to?
It drove him that bad. He switched teams. Like, man, get it.
I appreciate Jason Tatum honoring Kobe. I appreciate it. Couldn't let the Celtics pass the Lakers, and he had to leave in 2-4. So I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Way to honor him. Way to honor the legend.
Like, to be fair, Al Horford was the real Finals MVP.
Really?
He was the Finals MVP. All right. Because he was out there at 36 years old cooking players 10 years younger than him. And he was wearing some Nike Monarchs.
Dang. Not the Monarchs.
If you don't believe me, go back and look. Look at Al Horford feet.
Wow.
If you know what Nike Monarchs are, just go to your local mall around 9:30, 10 a.m. and you'll find one of the senior citizens
walking around with the Monarchs.
Walking around the mall in the Nike Monarchs.
Right.
That's what Al Horford wore. It was cooking everybody.
I mean, that ain't got money. Because that's all the billionaires be wearing is them.
Yeah.
We're spending money on Jordans and shit. They rock the Monarchs.
Monarchs, get the job done. For sure. Oh, man.
That nigga Horford got money.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Someone said we should bring this, make this a weekly rant, a new segment.
I like it. We'll find something.
We're gonna find something to rant about for sure. Especially
I can't yell at Greg Roman every week.
Yes, you can.
I can, but I don't want
to. You really could.
It's getting old. I'm trying to watch my goddamn blood pressure and my cholesterol. I ain't got time to be.
Hey, follow us on YouTube at the Sideline Talk _SLT, Instagram at the Sideline Talk, Facebook group #Sideline Talk, Twitch Sideline Talk. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be productive. Be positive. Al, take us out.
Be blessed, be productive, be more. We love you. We out.